I always like in War Selection when there's multiple lands out there that you can like take over, and then you gain the resources for them, and you never have to worry about them being attacked because it's such a waste of the enemy's time to attack an island that they think you might be there, and even if you are, then they have to spend the resources to get to that island, and then take the island. Meanwhile, they're leaving everything else exposed. And also what's fun is the fact that about water maps is the fact when you have so much water that you can make basically infinite fishing boats. You never have to worry about food, which is exactly what I did this game. So immediately I come over here and I go to attack Orange here, but he quit immediately as soon as he saw my troops. And I came over here, mobilized my forces again, and then I pushed blue. First thing I did was take out his towers. Again, standard spear rush strategy I use. And there was blue gone. After that, the last person I needed was purple, but however, when I looked at the map, I realized I had killed so many people and the last guy over here quit too. So then I realized, why don't I just leave purple alone for now? He's not bugging me, and why should I bug him? He's too busy fighting this guy, as you can see. There's no point of mobilizing myself again for another attack. So that's basically how this is going to go down right now. So, and we're probably going to see this guy, how these guys fight most of all. So again, I spend the most of my time just over here. Purple and yellow keep fighting. You know, they keep trying to tower rush each other. But I see while they have the resources, well, sort of have the resources to do so. They're kind of just sticking to themselves right now, honestly. Like, they have the resources to fight each other, but they're trying to conserve resources. But purple seems to be a bit more aggressive and starts bombarding him. Alright, standard stuff. Seems interesting, Alright, so actually purple almost killed orange here. Or yellow, I'm sorry, yellow here. But then started attacking with his workers to try and destroy the catapult. That's actually a bold fucking move. But I guess it doesn't help because he just comes back and just bombards him again. This time he has pikemen. Yep. Yep, and there goes yellow. Meanwhile, while that was going on, I went ahead and industrialized to basic abstract because I wanted to try out. Because it's been a long time since I touched abstract, boys. It's been a long time. And then I also started colonizing literally everything else. Because colonization is fun. Who doesn't like a good old colonization? And I want to colonize this, but the problem is, as you can see, there's no place to. You can't actually colonize this. And I am upset. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. How can you not call? Anyways. I come over here. As you see, I'm basic abstract. I start, mobilizing myself more. I am fine as fine can be right now. I'm enjoying life. I haven't been attacked. I haven't mobilized anything. I'm just enjoying myself. It is a nice time to be me. Anyways, but however, unfortunately, it appears my luck has run out. As you can see, Red desperately needs iron at this point because he used up all his iron. So as he desperately needs iron. And I was like, oh shit. I tried hiding my workers in the tower, but then I realized, it's a bad idea. Or I couldn't do it because, the tower was being destroyed, so it would just repair them. So I immediately took all my units, and I let loose the hammer of God on this guy. I sent everything I had. I took all my armor. I had armored cars, pikemen. Then I took some howitzers and bombarded his base like it was no tomorrow. Everything was going to be destroyed. I brought down the hammer. And I see he quit. I was disappointed because I wanted to kill him some more. I wanted him to watch me destroy his base. I even went and took my junks and destroyed everything else. Nothing was left standing in the end. Unfortunately, purple had also had a lot of time to build, which is kind of ironic considering the fact purple look at this. Purple built so many towers here. Why? I don't know. Really dumb that he would build towers there, because why? The enemy's to his left, not to his right. He built towers here, and then I decided to go and attack. But you see, he has a nice force, like a nice fortified force. So I was like, yeah. But one thing that was growing was my colony. As you could see, my colony was expanding. I need to place an arsenal here because it's much safer to place an arsenal on another goddamn island where your enemy is not going to think to look. And even, again, like I said before, even if your enemy does think to look on another damn island, like he spends the resources to bring his navy over here, destroy everything, then land the necessary troops. The amount of resources wasted versus the potential gain is simply not worth it. So it's much better to build like some specific structures on the islands, like housing too. Housing is important unless you play as China or Russia, then it's much better to build the housing near your base because they can produce troops. But if you're playing like a country that doesn't have the potential to make troops for the housing, place housing on another island so that way no matter what, your population will never go down because they can't destroy anything. It is much better to like fortify your base with towers, barracks, and all the like. Rather than wasting time doing everything else. But anyways, this guy, he spent a lot. I think he relied heavily on medieval troops, like the advanced medieval troops of specific types, like for example the bombardiers, the siege ships, all that stuff, because he made a lot of like heavy siege units. And it is smart to do that for someone in industrial, but when you're wasting so much time doing that, it's just not worth it. Yeah. Anyways, I realized that this guy would be a kind of a tough cookie to crack. Unless I went like mass something specific, like maybe mass light tanks. But I wasn't gonna have that. What kind of person would I be if I went abstract and I just went mass light tanks? What kind of person would I be? Especially when I went second industrial. Well, what fun would that be if I was second industrial and don't use, some engineers, some cavalry, and then I continually just cut down this guy's tree line just for the fun of it. Look at these engineers go. Look at them engineers. Look at them go. They are just chopping away. Yeah, but that wasn't the end of him. So I tried to get battle chips. That doesn't work out because he immediately just fucking destroyed them with these bombardiers. So I decided to use some cavalry, weaken him up a little bit, take out some of his cannons and some of his advanced units. Look at that. Boom, look at that. Oh, it's just beautiful, ain't it? Then I launched my own attack. But this time I have APCs. And this APC is chock full of engineers. It's an emergency repair station, and as you can see, the engineers are doing amazing. As soon as the tanks get destroyed, I immediately took them, repair the tanks, and place them right back inside. Look at that. Four vehicles straight up recovered. And problem is, he was bombarding his own base as well as my units. So I had to take out these bombardiers, because there's a lot of bombardiers, galleons, you know, all that stuff. That's a lot. And actually, real quick, hold on. I want to see something. So he was freezing cold. Oh no, this wouldn't work because he isn't technically. Okay, I wanted to see like what they see when there's invisible units. I have seen invisible units before, but like they're so rare. Invisible units are so. I get some submarines. Look at that. Ooh, who doesn't love some good old submarines, especially when they can go underwater? And I love the invisible units. War Selection has perfected the art of invisible units, in my opinion. I mean, well, to be fair, they could do slightly better, but in my opinion, it is really, really good. They are really good. Invisible units are. Because, think about it, you don't see many invisible units in RTSs. You know, think about it. Like, yeah, think about most of games RTSs you play. Like, how many invisible units are there, and are they actually good? But anyways, I brought in some submarine. Again, I brought the submarines up. Now, it was a bad idea for me to bring them up, because I thought that maybe if I brought them up, they needed like some air or something. But they still had a lot of time and accidentally brought them up. But it's okay. It was okay. It didn't matter, because this guy was I forced his ships to shore, and I went ahead and just bombarded him. Bombarded his units. Look at that. Boom, boom, and boom. Oh, it was beautiful. And the submarines, again, doing God's work in destroying these units. Boom. Oh. And me colonizing some more. Because who doesn't like colonizing stuff? Unfortunately, these colonies will soon rebel, because I'm an authoritarian. I'm an authoritarian when it comes to my colonists. And you know, I gotta start somewhere though. I gotta start somewhere. So, oh my gosh, can you imagine though? Like for a second, like we get a bunch of players, get a bunch of islands. We get the one main island, and then the rest of the smaller islands are just like on their own team, and it's all against one person too. So it's literally one person versus everyone else, but everyone else has very small islands like this size, so they only get like one iron node. Oh my gosh, yes! Can you? Oh my gosh, that would be amazing war selection game actually, because you are forced. Like, let's say, okay, let's do this. Say everyone is industrial, right? Everyone waits to industrial, and then but there's rules. So the colonies can't start building units until a revolution is called. Whereas the main island has, you know, a small force, a small naval force, but nothing too big. Maybe let's say 2 battleships and a small fleet of machine gunners, right? Yeah, that seems good. That seems good. A small fleet, and maybe a submarine or 2. Yeah, sure, why not? And then the colonists, they can't reduce anything, but they have full control over the island. They have, you know, basic defenses, whereas the main island has, let's say, all coastal defenses and armies, and, you know, some full housing and such, and a small air force too. Whereas the colonies have none of that. They have nothing. And then when the game officially starts, the revolution happens, right? So then all the colonies, it's free game to do whatever you want, and so it is the main empire's job to destroy the rebelling colonists and restart. So, and then, yeah, that kind of like, you know, force everyone to have to work together. Like everyone's gonna have one node to get to industrial, but after that it's gone. After that it's done. Like that's all they get. They get one or maybe two iron nodes actually, just to make it a little bit fair. So that way, you know, you can actually build all the stuff that requires metal. Yeah. I like that. I would like that game a lot because it would really force the colonists to actually think about the resources. Because even if they have, let's say, a lot of resources, let's say they have, you know, like they have a lot of resources, and they are constantly sharing resources, but those resources are dwindling fast, and the colonies have to, um, they have to work together because they have very limited resources, while the mainland has infinite resources. They have islands like this where they basically have infinite resources all to themselves. Oh, that would be an amazing game right there. That'd be amazing. That'd be an interesting game to see how everything would play out. Sure, you can have, you know, colonies, and if one colony goes under threat, like here's the thing, like it would require the main empire to focus heavily on a single colony, because if they try to go with multiple, it's splitting their forces and hurting them, but at the same time, it allows other colonies to then attack. So then the empire has to go back. You're like, oh shit, I'm under attack. So now they have to then go out and recover and stop the main force from attacking, etc., etc. And then other colonies will have steamships probably on standby hidden for the attack. So yeah, that would actually be very interesting to see. Oh, I would actually, oh, man, that's an interesting idea. Someone note to self that idea. I need to note the self file. But yeah, that has been my war section match and my idea. Oh, it's a very spicy idea. I like it. One versus many, but that many is very weak. Anyway, leave a like, comment, and I'll see you all next time.